Welcome back to the Dunton Homestead. It's been a hot minute or two since the last time I put out a video. Been really busy doing busy stuff, family stuff. Been taking care of grandkids a lot. Weather hasn't always cooperated with the times that I'm home, so feeling like I'm behind, but instead of just going, I'm behind, I'm just gonna jump back in where we're at right now. So in the last couple months that we have not been dropping any YouTube videos, besides busy family stuff, I have been doing research on herbs. I've been doing a lot of seed starts. I started a lot of vegetables that, man, I started them too early again. I wrote on my planner for next year, do not start seeds before March, because we've been getting below freezing temperatures for like the last week, and then it was off and on sporadically before that. And right now I'm at this point where my plants, my seedlings are stressed. They want to get into the ground, and I can't put them in the ground because our last freeze date is like the beginning of April. I think it's the April 7th. And then you kind of got to look at the long range forecast at that point to see if it's safe. So it was a rookie mistake, and I guess because I've only been doing this a couple years, I'm still a rookie, but I know better. When you have the 70-degree weather at the end of January to the middle of February, you start buying into that fake spring. I couldn't help myself. So I started a lot of seeds, and I was doing a lot of research on herbs and herbal medicine, and started a lot of herbs I did not have last year. And Rick, he has been building chicken structures, so the chicken coops. So we'll take a look at that. Rick built 2 new chicken coops. So we've got this one here. The one in the middle is one that he found on the side of the road. We've had that for a while now, and that's been set up. And then another new one that he built over here. So what we did is downloaded instructions, which weren't really complete, and there was some confusion, but it was a starting point. And downloaded them from the Home Depot website, and then we went to Lowe's and got the materials because I found it a bit cheaper, and he built them. So we had now 3 love shacks, and then we separated out, cannot remember what kind of bird Rainy is, but with his 3 hens. Most of the winter, all the roosters were together and all the hens were together. So there was no chance of crossbreeding. Now crossbreeding wouldn't have been a big deal. We were just trying to get roosters of the same breed that we already had to replace the ones that we have, and hope that these ones have better temperament. So after he built this and then he separated out the run, we put their prospective hens in with them. This is Rocky, he's another jerk. He's probably going to be the tastiest, he's the biggest. He's got 2 or 3 hens. Blue here. Now he was contemplating keeping Blue because he's only gone after him once, and he backed right off when Rick reacted back to him. He backed right off. He's only got 1 hen. That one hen is Lisa Marie. So after a period of time with these guys all together with their prospective girlfriends, we started collecting the eggs. And then we put, it was either 53 or 56 in an incubator. An incubator that we purchased on Amazon. It's hard to know what one to get. It's certainly hard to find one that's made in the USA. My choice is always to try to buy American made, but it's so darn hard to find things that are American made. And sure enough, when we, sometimes it offers that information on the Amazon website. When we pulled it out of the box, it's like the thing right on top says China. So it is what it is. But we put, is it 53 or 56 eggs in there. After 10 days, we took them out and we candled them. And we separated, I think at that time we took like 13 out that didn't look like there was any kind of development at all. And then just to be sure, not that after cracking them open you can put them back in, you can't uncrack an egg. We took them outside in case they were stunk. This is the first time we've ever done this, so we really didn't know what to expect. So we took them outside and cracked them open, and they were just yolk and whites, so they hadn't been fertilized at all. There wasn't like they had started developing and then died. They just hadn't, nothing happened. They weren't fertilized at all. So after another week we did the same thing and took a few more out, and now I think we're down to like 33 that we think will hatch out. So these are our chickens that we separated out and to be fertilized by Beast. We're hoping to get another, I think he's an Australorp. I don't know my chickens the way that that Rick does, but I think he's an Australorp. We're hoping to get a replacement for him, like get a new rooster. I don't care if you hear me, because he's a jerk, and I can't get in here and work because he will come and attack. He attacked Rick the other night. I won't come in here and work on like the compost piles as long as there's a rooster present, because all of our roosters have turned into jerks. So consequently, those compost piles I was working on have just sat there, and they've still continued to dig through them, but they've sunken in. A lot of it has drained down to the, we're on a slope here. This run is on a slope. So when I can get in here, what they're standing on is really soft, and I should be able to dig up a lot of that and put that into another finishing compost pile, because they've done a good job with it. I mean, figure this was all leaves, all brown crunchy leaves when they went in there. So they've done a good job, and time and weather has done a good job breaking it down. But I haven't been able to turn it and to water it and to do all those things that help that process along because of this guy. He's kind of a jerk. Absolutely no instructions came with this incubator. And according to the display, it says we're on day 13. According to reality of when Rick actually put these in, I believe we're on day 17. So I don't know which is going to be right. I mean, if it's according to when Rick put them in, we'll have chicks starting to hatch out this weekend, or towards the end of the weekend, but it could be another 10 days according to the display here. This incubator had no instructions. We went online and was looking at some YouTube videos the other night, just trying to learn something about it, because it would just really stink if this all turned into a big flop. I mean, not that eventually we wouldn't get it, but we don't want to totally lose out the first time we try it. These are new additions to our flock. We have, they're almost 3 weeks old, and a lot of them getting some of their real feathers now. And there's two different breeds here. There's a Delaware and there's a New Hampshire breed. And we have 6 hens of each and 2 roosters of each. Fun fact, if you mate those two, and I don't know if it makes a difference if the rooster's one way and the hen's the other, but somehow if you breed them together, you get a breed called Indian River. So that could be fun to try. I chose these as the major flock expansion other than what we're trying to hatch out, because they are dual purpose. So they are good layers, and they don't take 4 months to get the size if you needed to, if you were going to butcher them, if you were going to send them to freezer camp. So as far as dual purpose goes, they seem like a good bet. I think this guy here, the second one in there, I think is a rooster. You can see the combs already coming in. They did put some splotches on the heads of some of them. So I've got a purple splotch on there. Yep, it's a Delaware rooster. So this guy's a Delaware rooster. A rooster. I'm trying to handle them more. Last year when we got the chickens, it was around the same time that my mom got ill, and I wasn't able to handle them and spend time with them because I was busy trying to spend time and take care of her. But I'm hoping that maybe I can change the mentalities of the roosters, make them my friends. I hear there are some really cool roosters out there. We just can't seem to have them so far. These chicks, and there's 25, 26 of them, they are just over a week old now. These are kosher kings, and we bought these to fill our freezer. So these ones will grow out rather quickly, and they won't go in with the general population of the other chickens. They will be going into a chicken tractor that Rick made, and we will show that to you. Okay, now start.
Hey, how you doing? So this is my chicken tractor that I built. It's a John Siskovich design that I put my own twist on. A few modifications on the conduit. Normally these are on the outside here and just screwed through the conduit into the wood. I drilled holes down in, did that. Instead of doing a 90-degree bend up here, I got these fittings from Home Depot, Lowe's. It's like a 90-degree fitting. It normally has a plate on it, but if you take that plate off, it fits a 2-hole strap. So I put my ridge pole on top instead of underneath, and there's no zip ties there. It's pretty rugged. I weigh 200 pounds and I hung from it, so it's pretty good. And then the other modification I did was the door. Normally this is a square door that's on the outside, squared off here. I'm over 6 feet tall. I like to have as much headroom as I can get, so this is done with half lap joints. I had to get a little creative with it, but it works. It's not done yet as far as you still got to put the feeder in, and that bucket's just hanging there, but that will have a, I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do for a watering system, but may just hang that bucket off a chain or a rope or something with nipples on the bottom of it, or I think I may do something where I can fill it from the outside and do maybe PVC or something. So the other modification I did is, instead of putting the wheels just on the back, I rigged this up. You just push down on this. Do the same thing on both sides, and it gets it up enough to move it. It moves pretty easy. And then drops back down. Just gonna leave it that way. I only have one, so I don't need to swap wheels around. I didn't really use anybody's plans. I saw a bunch of videos on people making these and just kind of did it out of my head, but John Siskovich has Farm Marketing Solutions. He has plans book that you can buy. If you want to build one, I'd suggest it.
So I guess the plan is to not, like, how many weeks will they be in there, do you estimate, the kosher kings?
Probably 8 weeks once they go in here.
Okay.
if the weather is going to warm up another week or two in the brooder, they should be able to come out. This will also have a tarp on it. The tarp's not on it yet. I figured I won't put it on until I'm actually ready to use it.
And then we'll be moving it around. How do people usually move it around? Every day?
When they're younger, you can every other day. As soon as when they start to get a little bit older, they put a pretty good hurting on the grass, so you move it every day.
Then the other chicken tractor that he built last year, there was no way I was ever going to move it. This one here, I think I can actually move it, so that's helpful. Like, if he decides to go hunting this fall and we happen to have chickens that need moving, I'll be able to move them.
So. It actually is pretty easy to move. The dimensions on this are 6 by 10. You need, say, 1.5 square feet per bird. So it's rounded up to 2. Comfortably, you could do 30 chickens in here.
Yeah, and we get 25.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what Rick's been up to, and that's what I've been up to for the last couple months. We hope to be more consistent with videos. Garden season's about ready to pick up. Our gardens are looking really rough right now, so we have a lot of work to do to get them ready to put those plants, or may have to start new plants because I started the other ones too early.
Yeah. We still got 2 weeks to go before our last projected frost.
Yeah.
Or last average frost date.
So there'll be some tilling and some weed pulling, and I've been working on that a little bit, but said that the weather and the time just hasn't been working out. It's hard to be...
Got to make another chicken brooder too, because a chick brooder, because we got chicks that are...
Right.
When I think Friday is their hatch date.
Right. Yeah, I did do that. So yeah, he's got another box to make this week. So we'll talk again soon. Thanks for joining us. Hit like and subscribe. Be a blessing and be blessed.